What happened to Frolova? That's been a question that's been circling around in the community for quite a bit by now, and a lot of people have been asking me again, even though it's been months since 2.5's ending, and since I've made a lot of videos discussing what happened to her before. It seems to be a topic again, so I'm going to insert myself here again and tell you guys what actually happened in detail, so this confusion can be cleared up and we don't have to talk about this ever again. Here we go. Okay, so to start, I think a good place to begin is an explanation of Phrolova's forte, i.e. her resonance ability and what happened to her body when she awakened as a resonator. For this, I think it's crucial to understand that there are multiple types of resonators. For example, we have natural resonators, which have naturally awakened their forte during their growth. So, for example, Brands, Calcharo, Changli, Xiangshen, Lingyang, Tao Chi, Yangyang, and Yuan Wu are all natural resonators that have naturally awakened their forte during their growth. It's not attached to an event in their lives or anything. It's just that they were growing up, and then one day they just realized they have an ability. And there was like mutant resonators, and this is what Phrolova is. Mutant resonators have experienced extreme conditions, for example, surges of energies, emotional distress, or a life-changing event that led to the awakening of their forte. For Phrolova's case, well, she almost died. She tanked a meteor. A meteor basically struck her village, and she was in basically the epicenter of the meteor. There is also cognital and non-cognital resonators, and lots of other versions of resonators, and lots of other types of resonators, but I'm not gonna get into that right now for the sake of the video length. What we need to know is that Phrolova is a mutant resonator that has awakened due to a life-changing event, which is near-death situation. Now, many people say that Phrolova has died, and she's basically dead, and she's just moving as like a living corpse or something, which isn't true. That's not what happened. If we read through her backstory, if we go back to Phrolova's backstory, we're gonna see that she, in fact, did not die. What happened was her forte awakened just before she died, at the moment of her death. The moment that she was supposed to die, she awakened her forte, and that led to her body undergoing a process called mutation, which rendered her immortal. And that made her so that even though her body was heavily damaged, she lost an arm, she lost one eye, and she was like very, very damaged, she didn't die. And her body just regenerated. Even she was confused. She asked, "Why am I not dead?" You can see this. I'm gonna put it on the screen right now during editing so that you guys can see it. She says that, here it is. Her intuition told her to stay away, but for some reason, this entire backstory, entry, the afterlife and beyond, is very important. And I'm gonna read it to you guys just so that we can get to the spirit of the discussion. Afterlife and beyond. She looked up towards the sky. It was blue, but she remembered that being dark red. She climbed over the fence on a search as voices echoed around her, holding her back. "You had a bad dream," they said. So it was just a dream, like the fleeting clouds above. Her white dress drifted across the grassland towards town. The sun rose as usual. The town repeated the same chimney smokes and laughters every day. Day after day, the ordinariness sank into her, and so did this feeling of stagnation. Her music no longer progressed, and her people's thoughts no longer adapted to change. Day after day. How long has it been since anyone ventured beyond the edges of town? Where did the food come from? How did they manage to end the supply of daily necessities? These were the questions she pondered as she walked further into the distance. Coming up on the town's edge, she saw a red figure, standing before the hazy mist. It had waited for a long time, as if anticipating her arrival. Her intuition told her to stay away, but for some reason, she reached out and placed a hand in its palm, only to grasp a handful of blood. The sky was indeed dark red, but she was but a dilapidated body with only one eye, covered in bright red flowers, unable to struggle or move. Why wasn't she dead? She gazed at the ashen sky, her hand involuntarily trying to grab the muddy red earth within her limited vision. Within her limited vision, her long disappeared fingers slowly reappeared. The deaths of others cradled her rebirth. The residual reverberations condensing in her right eye. It wasn't until she found the courage to leave the town and face reality that the beyond enveloping her retreated deep into her heart. Red flowers trembled and fell, revealing new skin beneath. The echoes of laughter had not yet faded. She had indeed had a very long dream, a beautiful dream granted by the beyond. Now, this is a very long text and a very long but to basically summarize this is what happened at the moment of impact. At the moment of impact, once everybody died, what happened was her forte awakened. At the moment of her death, it awakened, her body underwent the mutation, and the beyond formed around her immediately. The beyond formed around her and basically enveloped her in like a dream. The voices around her is referring to the villagers who were also engulfed in the beyond, and they thought it was just a dream. You had a bad dream, and it keeps repeating the same day, oblivious that this is actually a loop and that they're actually dead. And eventually, Phrolova noticed this loop and finally gathered up the courage to leave town, to try and leave the town to like see what's going on in the world. Why is nobody coming? Why is the day continuously repeating? And this is when she saw a red figure. This red figure is Hecate. It's very clear that it's Hecate. And it's because Hecate is stated to be originating from the beyond, and this is when the beyond was formed. So this is Hecate. So she reached out and held Hecate's hand, and that's when she finally awoke and came back to reality, and she realized that everybody was actually dead, and this is what reality actually was. And this shows us that her hand was regenerating, the flowers fell off as her body regenerated. She wasn't overclocking or anything. Like some people are just saying words and hoping that it just passes as true, which isn't true. Overclocking is a completely unrelated thing, and this is her resonance awakening, her first ever time becoming a resonator. This is the event that made her mutate into a resonator. Basically, this is how the beyond was formed, and this is how she became a resonator. So she didn't die. She didn't actually die. Her body mutated before she could die, and that's what made her immortal, and that's what made her ageless, and that's why she can't die, because her body is literally undying. It's immortal. Now, to go back to the next point, which is explaining the beyond. The beyond was originally just a metaphysical place. It was a dream. It was just like some sort of. It wasn't even a sonoro. It wasn't a sonoro at all. It was like just a metaphysical place that existed around, that manifested with Phrolova's resonance awakening. And through manifesting that area, she was able to get all those people or reverberations into the beyond, and then the beyond condensed into her eye and retreated deeper into her heart. And that's when they became part of her body. It's in her body. The beyond is in her body. If we read her resonance awakening reports, we can see that it says examinations reveal a large mass of chaotic frequencies housed within Phrolova's body, estimated to be at least around 1,000 frequencies. The exact quantity remains undetermined. Further experiments confirm that these frequencies have no negative impacts on her body or resonance ability. Such frequencies are deemed of zero significance value and are only related to Phrolova's mental fluctuations. These frequencies are the people of the beyond. They are the people of the beyond, and they are within her body. It was right there the entire time, and people are just ignoring this blatantly. The reason why they are deemed of zero significance value is because they don't contribute to her power. They're just there to, they are only related to Phrolova's mental fluctuations. As we have seen in 2.5, she was hallucinating, she was seeing them in the real world, she was getting mentally exhausted from trying to push through the hallucinations. and drifting off into the dream world and into reality. So, now that we know what the beyond was, now let's talk about what the beyond is now. So, what did Phrolova want to do? Phrolova decided to, after a lot of research, decided to build the beyond, the lost beyond, a sonorosphere. A sonorosphere that she built using her resonance ability. She composed it by herself, note by note, based on the beyond that was inside of her. Okay? Bear with me here. So, she composed it by herself, this sonorosphere, this place, based on the beyond that was inside of her, and then she placed that beyond that was inside of her inside the sonorosphere with all the frequencies inside, so that they can be granted rebirth once the beyond is completed, once it is perfect. What her point here was not to just merge people or like to revive people, or like her goal here was to create a place that would do that for her. Okay? The beyond was meant to be a place where rebirth can be granted to any wandering soul that died and wanted to come back. Okay? It wasn't just for her family. It wasn't just for like a few select people. It was for the whole of humanity, so that they can come back to life, for those who still have unfulfilled wishes and for those who still have dreams. Like there's this scene where Triss says, if I complete everything that I want to complete in life, if I fulfill all my dreams, then I have no problem dying. But since she didn't do that, she still doesn't want to die. And that basically explains how what Phrolova wants to do. She wants to give everybody a chance to fulfill their dreams, to fulfill their promises, to do what they can do in life before they inevitably die of old age, or inevitably die of basically having completed everything they want to do in life, and then they just die and be born as another person, or whatever happens in Solaris. So this is Phrolova's goal, right? And she composed this sonoro, but to complete this sonoro, she needed Leviathan's gem. Why did she need Leviathan's gem? Good question. To do this, she wanted Leviathan's gem so that she can, first off, create tacit discord bodies that are perfect hosts for the souls in the beyond. She would turn the beyond into a factory that created these tacit discord bodies for the people who are inhabiting it, and these tacit discord bodies would be perfect for them, and they would be able to house them. Now we don't know if that would work. I'm not gonna get into the thing if this would work or not, or if it was a sound plan or not, or if it was actually possible or not, because it's a whole other discussion. It's gonna take a while to explain. So she wants to do the gem so that she would be able to create tacit discords who are perfect bodies for the frequencies and the beyond. 2, to merge, because Leviathan's power is to merge. She can already merge herself, right? She can already do combine melodies and frequencies together by herself. However, she doesn't want to do that by herself, because then it's unstable, and the mind or the consciousness, the human consciousness, just gets consumed by the tacit discord, and the result is just a sentient tacit discord that that pretends to be the person. That's not what she wants to do. She wants to keep the consciousness alive, and then slap it in a tacit discord body, and the consciousness is controlling the body. She can then the appearances don't matter, because she can then easily transform the body into the human form of the frequency, which is very simple for her. She can transform her body all the time. She does that all the time. She can fade in and out of being a hecate, of being a flower, of being anything. She appearances don't matter. She can easily conduct them to be human looking and have human limbs and stuff. That's not a problem to her at all. Now, to continue, did she actually do that? Did she actually manage to merge humans and the discord using the gem? No, she still could not do that. She was not able to do that. Her beyond was never completed, and the gem she ended up losing the gem before she could execute her plan. And then what happened to the Beyond? When Rover threw his sword, let's talk about this. When Rover threw his sword and stabbed her, the Beyond shattered. The Beyond was destroyed. It did not manage to be stable, to stay stable enough for her to after she was stabbed. That is because to keep the Beyond stable, Phrolova needed to apply her resonance skill 24/7. It needed to be applied all the time with like constant focus. If she had like dawdled just for a brief period of time, she did like lost focus, or if she lost if she did not apply her forte, the Beyond would shatter. And that's not what she wanted to happen. She wanted to keep the Beyond stable until she could eventually transform it into the perfect place, and then it would be able to be its own thing, separate from her. However, and because she was stabbed, her forte was immediately focused on starting to heal her. So the regeneration ability kicked in, and that led to her losing focus on maintaining the Beyond, and that's why the Beyond shattered. And once the Sonora sphere shattered, the Beyond inside, the metaphysical place, the concept of the Beyond, the place where all the frequencies were hosted for all those years ago, returned back to where it belonged. It merged back with her body. It went back into her eye and then back into her heart. Because that's, if you remember correctly, when she took off her bandage in the story, that's what allowed us to enter the Beyond, because her eye serves as a gateway to her heart. It serves as a gateway to the Beyond. So the Beyond went back into her heart. That's what happened, all right? So it was shattered. The Beyond itself, the Sonora sphere, was destroyed. It became shards, and the shards are not perfect. They are not able to grant rebirth. They are not even like able to maintain those frequencies forever. It's just like a metaphysical place now, and those chaotic frequencies are once again housed within her body. So that's basically what happened with the Beyond, right? I already also told you what happened in the 2.5's ending, and I explained to you that basically what happened is that her body, the Beyond, went back into being inside of her body as she sank, and we are able to enter it. And this is very important, right? Remember, Abi says that entering the Beyond would be like entering someone's thoughts. This is because we're physically entering Phrolova's mental world, i.e. the Beyond, which is inside of her body, inside of her heart. It would be like entering her mind, right? And that's why she appears there as a frequency, as a hologram, because we're physically inside of her body. It makes sense, because why would she have a physical body inside her body? It wouldn't make sense, right? Like, the frequencies there are shaped to look like they're normal humans, but they're all just frequencies. They're all just frequencies. It would make sense for her to appear as a full body person, because her body is outside. It's not inside the Beyond, right? The Beyond is what's inside of her. So that's why she appears as a hologram in 2.5's ending, and that's why she's there. She's been a hologram since then. Now, for her return in 2.7, I've seen people start talking about this, and it just kind of pisses me off, because we're ignoring so much lore for like a shitty explanation that, for example, Christopher wrote her back. Like, he just wrote her back into the story. That, like, what? What are we talking about, bro? Like, huh? What makes you think that? Okay, so what happened is, let me just give you guys the actual canon explanation. What happened is that Phrolova, her body just healed, and then she opened a portal, and then she just left. Simple. Like, it's very simple. It's a very simple explanation, because there is nothing to stop her from just leaving. Her body could heal in like maximum 18 minutes. Maximum. Let's say she suffered like intense damage that like stabbed, like destroyed her heart completely. 18 minutes. 20 minutes. Let's give it like a margin of error. And then she just like heals. And like nothing happened. Like, that's why she's able to just leave. Well, she can create portals. That's how we access the Fabricatorium of the Deep, because she can create portals, and that's how she portaled us in. And that's the big portal in the sky in 2.7, where like we see Cristoforo, Scar, the Grand Architect, and her standing on Hecate's hand. That's her portal. That's her portal. And people are wondering, oh, how did she make it out of the bottom of the sea? Oh my god, that's such a weird thing. It has to be Cristoforo doing something. No, bro, she can just leave. She can just create a portal and leave. Anyways, I think that's basically everything that I've wanted to like say out of this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, any notes, anything that you want to say it in the comment section. I promise I read all of them, and I will reply to you if you want to reply. So just write it down there, press a like, subscribe. See you guys next time.